So one day I'm walking to the park with my son Ashton and my wife and our newborn baby at the time, and I come to the town of Clay park where they have all these disc golf holes, and just so happens the day that we were there was a big tournament. They were there playing a massive, there's so many people there playing disc golf, and while we were there, I met today's guest, Josh, at the event, and he had his own tent and he was selling discs there. He owns a company called Rapid Rivers, and they sell all different types of discs from all different kind of vendors and manufacturers. And it was just really cool getting to know Josh because he is such a go-getter. He's extremely self-driven, and it was really cool learning about his business. So I only had a chance to chat with him for maybe like 5 minutes when I met him at the park, and I'm glad we connected because Josh is a really great dude, and he puts out such a cool store and a website. Make sure you check it out. It's rapid-rivers.com. I'll put the link in the show notes below, so make sure you check those out and show Josh some love. It's Rapid Rivers. I think you guys will really enjoy the stuff that he puts out. If you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, please do me a favor and leave me a review. It helps my podcast grow. No extra cost to you. So without further ado, here is my friend Josh from Rapid Rivers. Josh, met you at the Town of Clay tournament months ago when I was there at the park with my family. Unexpected tournament going on, Town of Clay disc golf tournament. And I got to talking to you, and I thought you had such a cool business. You were one of the vendors there, right? What's the name of your company?
I am Rapid Rivers Disc Golf.
Nice, nice. And how long have you been playing disc golf?
Been playing just a little over 2 years.
Wow.
Fairly new to the game and new to the community. So I like to go headlong into things, and I have a lot of passion for everything that I do. So I mean, it was just once I got the bite, it was all over.
Yeah, that's how did you get into disc golf?
So a friend of mine from work asked me one day, and he's all like, "Do you want to go out and play some disc golf?" And I'm like, "What's disc golf?" Like I've seen a few of my other friends on Facebook play some things or play this, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And started doing some online research of it. Realized that there's some pretty good uh, tutorials, and then that there was a pretty good pro base, and then like I said, just got hooked and went down the rabbit hole of everything and anything, and went out and started throwing. Realized that I could throw pretty well. I was looking at like the numbers that they would put on uh, as far as like the suggested number for a putter would be 250 feet for a pro or intermediate level, so on and so forth. And I was like, oh, cool. Like I actually like have a chance at doing something in this. So I decided to start playing, and I did. Uh, I immediately found a league down in Binghamton. It's the Greater Binghamton Disc Golf League. They run it out of Campville Commons Park down in Endicott. We also have a couple other courses that they maintain, Greek Peak and Cole Park. But
And they
started playing.
maintain the fields and everything? Like they cut the grass and everything?
To an extent, so mostly the park people will cut the grass.
Mm.
We would be more for any layout changes, the installation of the baskets and the tee pads, so on and so forth. But just got playing with these guys and realized like how cool of a community it was. Everybody's super open, super accepting to every walk of life.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
it was
Just
just one of
timed.
those. Yeah, it was just like, oh, cool. Like, regardless of the sport, these are some pretty cool people.
Yeah.
So, and just went from there. And then the next year, which was last year, I ended up playing in 15 tournaments. So
Whoa, 15, dude, 1-5.
yeah, so I mean, I just went all out. I wanted to play as much as I possibly could, and at the same time, I had the business. So every single time I was playing, I was all like, "Hey, I have this business." You
Yeah.
know, no, there was because I was playing a lot in the Albany area, and there was a guy in the Albany area pretty strong. He's no longer out there, but it was still like, hey, check me out, you know, and I
Yeah.
made a lot of good relationships that way. Got a lot of good relationships in Syracuse that way, and just started to build the community from there. So
Now, where are you from, Josh? Because you've now said Albany, Binghamton, Endicott. Like, where are you from?
so I'm in Sydney, New York. My physical address is Bainbridge, but I'm right outside the town of Sydney, New York.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's 30 minutes away from Oneonta, about 40 minutes away from Binghamton, a little less.
Nice. That's cool. And this all just trickled from somebody at work who got you in to disc golf, who just like on a whim was like, Josh, you want to go play with me?
Yep. So he actually helped start the company too. Um, we Once we started to play disc golf and we started to order these discs in, so my actual profession is a tool and die maker, and
Whoa.
I work for Amphenol Aerospace as a tool and die maker. Personally, my job is a little bit more assembly related than it is, say, molding related. But I did learn all the aspects of the tool and die making of molds. And work right next to a guy that does molding all day. So
Whoa.
very familiar. And we started getting these discs in and realizing that these molds are pretty poor quality. And it's something that we think we could improve on. So we're like, hey, let's manufacture our own disc. And with that mindset, we progressed into where we are today. So
Whoa. Do you make any of your discs?
not yet, but we currently do have our mid-range designed, a putter designed. We have the mold itself designed. So it's just paying somebody to make it and away from there.
What goes into designing a putter and a mold? Because I feel like now I've played, I don't know, man, like 5, 6 years, but I don't do 15. I do like twice a year. Like I get out when it's a nice day and I have time, like I don't play as much. It seems like they all feel the same. So like what goes into your putter mold?
There's a lot that goes into the process overall. I'm not even in the process as much as, say, the number one manufacturers are, or some of the top manufacturers. So I can't really speak to all of that which goes into it. But as far as what I've done is taken molds that I've liked. So like the mid range, when we started the mid range, we took the Hex, we took um, the Truth, the Pathfinder. Um, Actually, there was two more. The Sabotage, I think, was one of them. And basically, what we did is we measured everything on them.
That's cool.
We got the PDGA numbers because you have to publish them. So we were able to come up with something that we want, and we think it's going to do what we think it's going to be made for. And the biggest thing is plastic. Everybody's got a different plastic, and there's so many different plastics.
Yeah,
When
right. There's gotta be so many.
I
There's
oh,
some that are like bendable. Then there's some that I feel like if I bend, I'm gonna snap it in
right,
half.
right, right, for sure. And that's where I think that you find the big difference amongst everybody, because it's not necessarily the base plastic as much as it is what they're putting it in to harden it. What are they putting it in to make it a little softer? What are they putting it in? There's a lot of additives that go into the plastic. Um, they could put a glass additive to give it a little bit more grip on there.
Whoa.
So like there's just so many different variants that go into this, and not to mention like the molding process itself. Like the pressures, the heat, the cooling, like how you build your mold is going to be how it comes out differently. Like what you build your mold out of. I think a lot of the manufacturers are building molds out of aluminum and not out of steel, because they want a quick turnaround. So you'll see big differences between the first disc out of the run and the last disc. Because
Did you make yours out of aluminum or steel?
no, ours will be out of steel.
Oh, nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. Dude, you're only 2 years into this. Look how deep down the rabbit hole you got, huh?
So yeah, that's just the manufacturing of the disc aspect, which we are super
Yeah.
excited. But we did realize that we are in the middle of an area which has no store. So we decided, hey, we could be retail too. And not only can we be retail, but we can bring our retail store out to the customers. And when they're playing, what better thing to look at or whatever when you're
With this.
off time than some discs. So,
Yeah. That's what I thought was so cool, dude, is I liked that. I was like, what a genius move, because now years ago I've had seen tournaments. I've never partaken in one, but I've always seen them happen, and never have I seen a vendor there selling discs. Never. So it's really cool when I went there to the park and I was like, this dude's selling discs. This is very cool. This is a genius idea. How do you approach them about being a vendor at the tournaments?
it's a genius idea. I give them money.
Oh, you give them money. Yeah.
So I don't have to, but I offer it because that's back to the community and how I build my relationships, right? So everybody wants to be the place that has the big tournament and that has the most money to pay out towards the pros. And I'm able to provide some of my profit that I know that I'm going to make from going out towards their pro division. So they're more than welcome to have me, so
Yeah.
that makes it really
And there's
easy.
nobody else vendoring discs at these things.
No, like I said, there was the guy in Albany, but he's no longer out there. So now even I'm going to a tournament in Rochester, and they said that they were having issues and not issues, but problems finding people to come out to build up the fly mart. So, I mean, not even some of the bigger stores that are out in the bigger areas are going out to the tournaments. And I really feel like they're missing out. I feel like it's a big benefit to have discs out in front of people when they can buy them. I don't have a physical store yet. So that is one aspect that I'm lacking that a lot of these other places aren't. But
everything's online. It's a whole online store or vendored in person at an event.
Yes, definitely more so up to date with the vendor in person. I'm going to have an order come in tomorrow and Friday, and then I vend on Sunday. So the chances of me getting that onto the website before I vend are slim. So it's a lot more up to date in person.
In all of these discs you have, like on your website, they're just shipped to order. Like if you find something, you can order it and it ships right to your house.
Yep.
And how do you curate what ones you want to sell? Is it only the ones that you like?
No, I mean, everything's generally for sale. Anything that I can get onto the website. Now, my website actually manages my inventory.
Nice.
So
love to see that, don't you?
Yeah.
One less thing on your plate.
The first year I had a separate inventory from my internet and a separate physical inventory.
Ugh.
And it was a nightmare. I would have to sell discs and then go home and take them off the website. So I did actually run into one instance last year where I sold a disc that I did not have. So I had to buy one quickly online and then ship it to this guy.
Hey, for the odds that are out there, that's not too bad, man. Only one time you had a fudge up. That's pretty good,
Yeah.
That is sweet. So like the idea is like you make a large order before you go to a tournament, and then whatever's left over basically goes on the website.
Yeah, I would say it's if I can get it in time, I'll put everything on the website and go there with my entire inventory. I won't generally keep anything away or keep anything off. It's just a matter of whether or not I had time I don't like to have stuff on there that doesn't have pictures. And if you go on there right now, you'll find a bunch of stuff that doesn't have pictures, and it's hard for you to buy something that doesn't have a picture.
Yeah,
So
right. Especially a
um,
disc. Like
right,
some people I know, friends of mine who literally have bought disc, myself included, because the picture on the front looks cool.
yes, yep, no, for sure. This one right here. Oh, yep,
That one right there.
right there.
What's
That's a
that? What's on it?
it's a Lizatl.
Oh, those things are adorable,
So it's the Simon Lizotte one.
dude. That's
So
amazing.
yeah, and
This
it's
is so cool that like
in the
you
dark
just
too.
started this business kind of like on a whim. How many people are working with you? Is it just you and your buddy?
Well, my buddy's not really with me. He came out a lot last year. This year it's just taken a lot for him to try to get out. So um, he's just kind of stepped back, and it's just basically me. Um, so we're at 21 events this year too. So
Whoa.
I'm going out a little bit.
Yeah, man. Holy cow.
So
Do you have a wife or kids at all?
yeah, I have an 11-year-old daughter.
Nice.
No wife, but an 11-year-old daughter.
Does she
She
love disc golf?
she she keeps me busy. Yeah, she's not as much into it as I am. Now, she does pick it up out back and throw it around, and I have
Wonderful.
worked with her a little bit on stuff, but she's very independent. So dad is not the person to give her advice. It has to be
Yeah.
somebody else, or else, you know.
Yeah.
So um but yeah, she's not quite into it. But last week, 2 weeks ago, she came out to a tournament with me for the first time, and it's a lot. We had 123 people out at Clay, and for the Clay Park Classic, and we had a lemonade stand, and she ended up
Nice.
killing it with the lemonade stand. So she had a blast.
I
So
love
it
that.
was really good. It was really good, and she's wanted to come back out afterwards. So if that's what it takes to get her out. I mean, she's 11, but it's never too soon to teach kids a little bit about commerce and, all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And,
So
entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur I can never say that word right. I always feel like I got double guess myself when I say that word, you know? That's cool, man. Like 2 years in, you dive deep into it. What
yeah,
is like one of the biggest tournaments you've been to? I hear Clay has a huge turnout
yes.
compared to other areas.
So Clay, obviously, Syracuse. Syracuse, more populous, more people that play. I'm not from an area where I think I'm the only disc golfer within about 30 miles. So
Yeah, right, right.
it's just not big in my area yet. But it has, you see it growing in the cities a little bit quicker than rural areas, which is what it is. So
Versus like Rochester,
yeah, no,
Syracuse, Buffalo.
Rochester is the birthplace of disc golf.
Is it? I didn't know that.
First tournament ever held was held in Rochester.
Oh, damn.
So this the 25th through the 27th of this month is the American Flying Discs Open 50th anniversary. So that is the 50th anniversary of the first tournament ever. So pretty cool. And we are a gold level sponsor for that event. So we are going to have all of our course signage on one hole, and it will be on the Disc Golf Pro Tour coverage. So you will be able to see Rapid River signs and banners up on a hole. So that'll
I
be
love that. Where did you
pretty
get the
cool.
idea of Rapid Rivers? Where does the name come from?
I don't remember exactly how we came up with it. We both live on the Susquehanna. I was raised on the Susquehanna, if you want to say it that way. It's not like a really big river up here as opposed to like Harrisburg, but so born and raised on the Susquehanna. It's a river. We did a bunch of different river variations. We got another river that's coming into the Susquehanna right close to us, so kind of right in the middle of two rivers. So we came up with a bunch of names, and it just ended up Rapid Rivers. Kind of rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue. There's you got to look at everything when you're trying to build something. I'm trying to build a brand, so I needed a name that I can use that was easy to say, recognizable, has a color code to it, like it has its own. Obviously, you see everything I have is blue, so we have a flow mentality that we tap into, as far as like the total immersing in your activity to the point of not consciously knowing you're doing this activity. You'll hear that a lot on pro coverage. People will say that when they win tournaments that they weren't thinking about it. They were just playing. So that's where all of that kind of, we had to build up from there and just make sure that we were able to check all those boxes with the.
That's it's funny you say flow state, because that's a big important part too. I do a lot of martial arts. That's where I spend most of my time. And that is a big part of martial arts. Like just being able to like flow through things and not think of things, because you're trying to make your body just react and respond, and try not to think too much, because when you think about the bills you owe, or you got to go do this for work, oh, you forgot to go pick up groceries, guess what? Your game's going to suck. You're now getting you're going to be +7 over on your hole because you're thinking about other stuff. You know?
Yep, 100%.
Isn't that crazy that's how do you get to a flow state in disc golf? Like, how do people do it? Is it just with practice?
Yeah, for sure. You have to practice the mental aspect of it. Yeah, there's a lot of throwing mechanics, but there's nothing that's going to provide you. There's nothing that's going to give you a better chance at winning a singles sport than mental game. I don't care what your athletic ability is. If you don't
Any
have
sport, dude.
Any sport that comes down to a singles format, you're gonna have an issue. So it's not only that, but it's in work, like you were just saying. You got bills. You don't want to think about all this stuff because you're gonna play worse. There's a lot to it. I don't know how people practice it besides once they know and recognize, hey, I'm getting in my head. Breathe.
Yeah, being subconscious about when those intrusive thoughts come in.
Right. Just I think that's everybody has their own little thing that they can do. It's just recognizing that, hey, I should not tell myself, and I do it with all the people that I play. They get up and they're like, I never make this putt. And it's like, well, you'll never will if you keep saying that you never make it. Like, yeah, you may miss it a lot of the times, but you have to be in the mindset of positivity. Like this is. And I think a lot of the flow state is no expectations. You've trained yourself for this. Let yourself do it. Don't get in your head. The shot you want. Pick the shot that you want. Pick the disc out. Throw it. That's all there is to it. It's a pretty simple game when it comes down to it. But
when you boil it down, pick a disc, throw it in the direction, dude.
Right. But the game, what they call the 6-inch game, the game in between the ears that's the number one game in the world. I mean, we've went into a lot of mental wellness awareness over the past, 10 to 15 years. And it's something that we also are trying to, be aware of and help people through in disc golf. Disc golf for me is a really big way to just, it's the thing that I love. It's something that I want to go out and do to get my mind off of the things that are bothering me and so on. So a lot of people use this for an outlet for mental health. And we want to make sure that we always create a community and an atmosphere in which is accepting and inclusive to everybody, because the last thing we want to do is make somebody feel like that they're not involved and they're not, no matter what. We don't care if you throw the thing 750 times. Like, that's fine. That's not why we're out here. We're out here to have
fun.
Yeah. Walk around the woods.
Giggle with your friends. Tee a little bit. Perfect.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mission accomplished, bro.
Yep. Exactly. Did you hit every tree in here? Yep. That's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. You got all your fingers. Life is good. No worries.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you talk a lot about it, like building this brand and figuring out how you can grow it. What went into just kind of like getting this knowledge on how to market a business, how to brand a business? Is this again all self-taught like disc golf was for you?
Pretty much. My family was kind of big into entrepreneurship. my mother was a stay-at-home mom, but didn't necessarily want to be. So she did a lot of things on her own. She had her own Avon business. She did some side jobs for my grandmother who worked for Nice Egg. Um, and then she ended up opening a pet store. And she opened a
Whoa.
pet store and had that for 5 or 6 years, and then transitioned into an eBay store when eBay was really big. Had that for quite a while, did a lot of antique stuff. So from a young age, 10 or 11, I was helping her behind the cash register and stuff. So I had a business mindset then. So I think that definitely helped me. But for the most part, I have no idea. It's just all about uh, what works, what doesn't work, what have I seen that works on me. Ask questions, ask a lot of questions. Don't be shy. Like you can't be shy if you want to succeed. You gotta take chances, make mistakes, and know what you know and admit what you don't, and make your weaknesses your strengths, and just go there. So yeah, it's definitely all self-taught. I have no college background in business whatsoever. It's been a lot learning all of the financials behind all of it. That's been the most difficult part for sure. Marketing's pretty easy. People want to
The
buy.
financial, the book work,
What's that?
right? It's all that book work that's involved.
So bad, so bad.
Oh,
And it's just tracking everything. And it's all like, why am I missing 37 cents? Where's this 37 cents?
yeah.
Hey,
It's like part of you just wants to throw a freaking quarter, a dime, and a penny on the goddamn table.
and it's like,
Be like, there it is. I fucking found it.
For sure. But yeah, so like I said, all self-taught, self-learning. Just right now, I just picked up a HTML and CSS book, which I don't know if you know anything about that, but it's all web design. So it's just
Damn,
web.
dude, so is this the Rapid Rivers website? By the way, rapid-rivers.com
Yes.
is about to get a facelift here.
It's by the time that you post this video, it will be different. I worked on it for the past 2 days. It's ready. All I need to do is just click the button. So
Cool.
there's a lot of stuff that's going to be added to it. There's this new over here. There's this new game. Oh,
Birdie
backwards.
Pro.
There's this new game coming out that we're going to have on Friday, which we're going to push pretty heavy. There's this new disc coming out this week. So you had asked me or made comments about, do I save some and then put stuff on live later? This new stuff that's coming in, kind of. I do have a tournament on Sunday, and I do have to pay out and player pack to 20 or 50, 55 people. Something. So I have to know that I have 55 discs basically available, which I do. I have about 500 in inventory, roughly. And on this new order, I've got like 30 or 40 coming in, but they're new. They're new releases within the past month, week, depending on manufacturer, because I have 2 different orders coming in. So
That's cool.
These are only going to be available to my in-person sales. Whatever I do have left over, I will put on the on my online store. So it is kind of more of a benefit there to come out and see me in person, which generally we're posting on our Facebook. It has been really hard to keep up with everything and every aspect of what it is to grow this. So
business.
some things slack from time to time, which they'll get better when I can not have to do my 40-hour-a-week job, or 50 rather, and then focus on this full time. But
I'm a real estate agent as my full-time gig, and that is honestly one of my biggest struggles, is because there's so many aspects to my job, because it's almost like it is running my own business, right? Like I have to do all my numbers, I have to do my financings, I have to make sure my paperwork is in line so the Department of State isn't fining me. I have to do social media. Then after I do that, I have to do prospecting. I have to do media marketing, and then I have to do this. And it's like, sometimes you feel like you're treading water, but I always remind myself, just one step at a time, and it'll get done. There are people dying out there, and if I don't post something on social media, people aren't going to be upset. You know what I mean? Like, Like they're not going to be crawling. But there's that other aspect, that other voice in me that's like, dude, you better post on social media or you ain't going to get no sales, dude. Right? Like you got that little voice that you're battling, right?
For sure.
If I was your mentor, I'd be like, hire everybody to do your social media. You should have somebody else doing your social media. And that's easier said than done when you're just starting a business and trying to cut the cord from your full-time job. Like, is that the idea? Like you want to go from full-time job, what you're doing, to this being your full gig?
Yes, 100%. And
Do you have like a 5-year plan? Like, do you feel like in 5 years I'm going to be there? Or is it just kind of like, I'm just taking it day by day?
100% 5-year plan, 3-year plan, 1-year plan, 10-year plan. We got it all.
Dude, 13 is a brand founded for the creators, the innovators, and the motivators, for the people who get up every single day and strive to be better and leave a positive mark on this world. 13 is a fantastic clothing company, and the people that are behind it are passionate, creative, and some of the nicest people I have ever met. All of their stuff looks great, it's comfy, all the designs are so super cool. 13 has some of my favorite t-shirts and seriously my favorite pair of sweatpants I have ever worn. 13 has been a long-time sponsor and supporter of the Cory Cast, and they wanted to extend their love to you, the listener. So when you check out their website at thur13en.com, fill your cart with some cool hats, hoodies, sweatpants. Just make sure you use the code word CoryCast at checkout and you're going to save yourself a little bit of money. thur13en.com. Make sure you tell them Cory sent you. So break it down. What's your 1-year plan look like?
1-year plan is quit the job. Like I believe in less than 1 year, I can do disc golf full time. I can support myself to make a good amount of money. We are on track to do about 6 times what we did last year. And
dang, dude. What do you think contributes to that? Just going to more tournaments?
Yes, and increase in inventory. So last year I didn't really know anything. This year I'm a quick learner. So I've learned what sells, what people want, what is marketable in my area. And like these things right here, I got 20 of those, I think, and I sold them in 3 days.
Whoa.
So, like being on top of those type of drops, like you have to have the hot items because people want the hot items. So I'm building a nice stock inventory, but my sales are definitely contributed to the relationships that I built last year and the willingness of donating to everybody's funds for stuff. I give a lot of CTP prizes out. I give a lot of raffle prizes, a lot of bags and stuff like that. I donate to them. So they see that I'm trying to help them and they want to help me. So a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that support. So they're willing to give me a shot and realize that if I'm the same price as everybody else, why not buy from me?
Right.
So,
now, Josh, what's your 5-year plan?
5-year plan is a piece of property.
Whoa, piece of property.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I believe within 5 years I can secure a big enough piece of property to do what I want.
That's cool. Like you want a warehouse so you can store all these discs, basically.
Well, the piece of property is going to be probably two different functions. One function will be a warehouse type facility, which will also have a machine shop with the molding capabilities. So I would like to be my own injection molding company. Even with me making the tooling for my molds, I'm still bringing them to an injection molding company for them to run the plastic through. So now there is a lot of benefit to that because it's low cost as far as I don't have to maintain the machines or anything like that. But I do have to wait for their production schedules and so on and so forth. But yeah, 5 years definitely. I'm going to have a whole line of discs. I plan on doing 3 to 5 molds a year. So by 5, we're looking at 20 molds. So 5-year plans, 20 molds, my own, at least started on my own warehouse facility where I can start manufacturing my own discs. And I'm going to have a course, and I'm going to have a pro shop on the course. And the course will be an elite level course in an area which can support an elite level event. And um, that's the whole mindset behind it, is to get the
Now,
tour into
when
New
you
York.
say when you say area that supports it, it doesn't sound like your area, right? Are
No,
you looking to like move to a different city that can support that?
not personally, but I'm definitely would be looking to purchase the land in that type of area.
Gotcha,
Um, I
gotcha.
mean, I don't mind the area that I'm in, and I see a lot of potential in the area that I'm in. I'm not sure that Sydney could hold that many people. Now, I we just ended up having this Southern Tier music festival at our airport, which had like a few thousand people at it, I guess. So I guess it's
Nice.
not necessarily out of the question, and I'm sure that my
But
town would love it. But yeah, I think it's
but
better.
Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, Albany, way more dense population, you know?
Um, Oneana's got some potential. Oneana's got some seriously untapped potential. You have
Hell yeah.
You have Hartwick and SUNY Oneana there. Two big colleges, two big named colleges, with each one of them with like 200 acres of rolling hills land in the woods. So, um, one of my goals for the next 5 years, business wise, is to have a course put in Oneana College. I think Oneana College is the first opportunity that this area would have for any elite level event, because it would be a brand new course specifically designed for an elite level event. And it's at a college, so it can hold thousands of people with no problem. And Oneana is a
Nice.
city. I mean, you have plenty of hotels, so very big area. So
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, man. That'd be pretty big, and I love that you set these goals. Do you have, like, benchmarks written out to make sure you hit the goals, or
yeah,
is
there's a
this
couple
just
of them were like three-year stuff, but yeah, I mean, it's just not as much benchworks as much as laying out what it takes to do this. Okay,
Yeah,
this is the goal. These are the steps to take the goal. This step is going to take 3 months. This step's going to take 3 months. This step's going to take 2 days. Like just laying it all out and figuring out how to climb the ladder to get there.
yeah.
Um, but it's really cool and unique because it's a new sport. It's a growing sport. Nobody else is doing it in the area. So
It's big. I feel like it's blown up so much over the last, like, 5 years.
yeah. Now COVID really, really helped it.
Yeah,
Um,
helped a lot of hobbies, to be honest,
yeah,
but disc
any of
golf
the
for
personal
sure.
ones. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure golf itself took a really big increase too. Anything that put you outside and away from people was perfect.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
you got like a theoretical $50 entry price point. Now, anybody that knows, oh yeah, this one. Like, I mean, that's like a $50 disc itself. Now I
Yeah,
got that through the store, so I didn't pay that, but I've got a whole bunch downstairs that you don't just buy a few discs in a little bag. You're
yeah,
buying discs all the time.
yeah.
Like they come out
So,
with cool looking ones.
like, I had, when I first got into it, my friend John Hess, like 2016, it was like an 8-hole course in this little park by us. We went to Walmart. We bought a pack of 3 Franklin discs that were like terrible quality, dog shit. And it was like $30 for the 3 of them, right? So listen, whoever's listening right now, do not make that same mistake I did. Instead, Josh, are there a good recommendation for like a starter kit for like a short range, long range, and a putter that someone can buy?
Yeah, for sure. Now, like you said, though, there are ranges of quality. You can find these really shitty ones, and then you can find some pretty good ones. Any of your main manufacturers, Dynamic Discs, Prodigy, Discmania, all of these people will have starter packs. They'll have a 3-disc starter pack, which comes with a putter, mid range, and some sort of fairway driver or distance driver. Generally speaking, usually fairway driver because it's a little slower, a little easier to throw for the amateurs. So, yeah, I don't have, or I have one brand. It's called XCOM. It's a really low price point. It's only $20 MSRP. So it's really easy to get somebody involved in it. And they actually have some 5-disc sets with a bag for around 50 bucks.
For
So
$50, you get a
yeah.
bag too?
So it's something that I've just tried to get people involved. I mean, your first set is not going to be the set you play with. So
Yeah. That Franklin set, I don't know what happened at Franklin set.
So, I mean, just to get somebody involved, it's all about the price point as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, 1000%.
Yeah, the lower cost that anybody can, have to get involved in something, the better chance you are for them to get involved in it. So, which is why you find a lot of these courses at public parks. Like, this is the birth of disc golf, went into public areas to get more people involved. And now with over the next 5 years, you're going to see that disc golf is going to go completely away from the public parks into the private sector. And this is why I'm saying 100%.
But that's also the reason why I love disc golf, is because I don't have to pay
an
entry fee to go in.
Right. You won't find
and I can just kind of like pop in and play some holes and then bounce,
Yeah, you won't find the courses leaving. The courses will always be there. You'll just find the Pro Tour stop going to public courses. They have to deal with people revving their engines in the background and doing burnout and stuff like that, and kids swinging on swings, and it's slightly annoying when you're trying to put together a $300,000 added cash tournament at a public park with
Yeah. So it's like the one hole I always laugh. The one hole that's in Clay, where it's like the last hole and it's a long drive from tee off to the hole, and it's like there's a basketball court, there's like a playground not too far, and you always hear that ball boom, 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 boom. You're like, oh, I'm just trying to throw. I gotta get in the flow mindset. But hey, listen. I'm playing with my friend Mike and having a couple day beers. I'm not playing for $300,000, dude. That's a lot of money to be on the line. A lot of money to be on the line.
I do believe it's Worlds, but LL Bean is adding 275,000 added cash, I do believe. So, and now you're starting to see that. That's LL Bean. That's the first time that they've been.
LL Bean.
Yeah, that's pretty big company. So you've seen Bushnell. That's pretty cool. Bushnell's made some disc golf rangefinders and some disc golf, what they call jockeys, which are the little speakers, so you can tell how far away you are from the basket. So yeah, there's a lot of cool technology that's starting to come out. And like I said, back to being excited about being where I am, is the growth right now is insane. We're in the innovative growth of disc golf. We have not plateaued on our memberships. We thought that after COVID it was going to go down, and it ended up staying the same, actually increased in percentage wise. So it was like, oh, this is here to stay. So it's exciting to see all the stuff coming out. We personally have come out with a brand new product this year. It's called the Rapid Routes Logbook. It's the equivalent to a golf yardage book. And if you don't know what a yardage book in golf is, they would get, basically, if you've ever watched any golf, you've seen a caddy stand next to the player with a book in his hand and flipping through papers and stuff. That's a yardage book. It's saying, hey, Tiger, you've got 226 yards from here to the front of that bunker. Play it into the middle, play a draw, let it fall, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So disc golf,
that's wild. That's cool that you could see that in our lifetime with disc golf. Because, like, dude, my vision of disc golf is so much different, because, like, it's literally twice a year I play with my friend Eric or Mike. We have a couple of beers while we're out there, and it's like you're a little tipsy. You're like, oh, that's about 100 yards, I think. Yeah. And it's like, there's some cool technology out there that's really helping, like, evolve the sport and move it forward. That is cool. What went into you putting that book together?
Just, like I said, just seeing the need. I'm a very well, one, everybody wants a get rich and die scheme, right? Like just one and done, just woo, we're good. So I'm always looking for new stuff to build. And with the company, the disc is stupidly profitable. Can't wait to start producing a disc because the manufacturers that are out there right now, they're posting $20 million a year earnings, and they're selling out of stuff like all the time. So it's like there's such a demand. But so we was just looking, what kind of products can we bring into the disc golf that's not in disc golf right now? And it's like, well, how do you not look at golf and compare side by side literally everything? And like, well, what about a caddy book? We have in disc golf caddy books. If you go to any big event, well, actually not even big event, some C tiers and B tiers have them as well. If you go to any of these events, they'll send you the course laid out with the OB, anything that you might need to know, elevation changes.
Ooh, elevation changes too. Wow, that's
yeah,
fancy.
stuff like that. Just general shot shape, whatever. So we wanted to bring that off of the computer and into your hand. So we said, oh, well, how do we do that? And we said, oh, we've already got a yardage book in golf. So let's kind of use that same concept and go with that. And started working with a designer, came up with what we got, and here we are.
That's cool.
Rendition of it. So
now, you don't have to give your secret sauce, but how do you purchase what you sell on the website? Is it directly through manufacturers, or is there like one website where you bulk order everything?
No, everything is through each individual manufacturer. There are some individual manufacturers like Thought Space, Mint. Some of those are actually manufactured by bigger manufacturers. So MVP, MVP Disc Sports, which is the manufacturer of this disc right behind me, also has the brand Axiom, Streamlined. They make Thought Space discs. They make Mint discs. So they make quite a few. So no, I work with each manufacturer. Each manufacturer has its own different ordering process. MVP
Damn,
right now
that's got to be a pain, huh?
Oh, it's such a pain. Such a pain. And it's like, and this is, like I said, going forward, some of the things is like, I want to design a program that everybody can use that's the same for wholesale, because this is fucking stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, one company uses an Excel document, the other company uses like Shopify, the other uses their own made website, which is completely different than anything else. And it's just, it's such a pain. But,
well, we're seeing like, I can't say infancy of sport in its infancy, because clearly it's been around forever, but it just has never seen its populace. It's the popularity it sees now. So it's like these innovations somebody had to do when they were selling jewelry and ordering from multiple manufacturers. So there's somebody who's going to do it. It's probably going to be you, dude, because you are the one that's like innovative enough to like think outside the box for these things. We don't have anybody in Syracuse that's like a big disc golf only retailer. We have like Played Against Sports. They have some that they sell. There's some refurbished ones and there's some newer ones, but here in Syracuse we don't have much of a spot. There's no like designated disc golf place.
You have one guy out in Fulton, Jason Chamberlain.
Oh, okay.
Chamberlain's 3D printing, or Chamberlain Sports. He's actually got a course at his thing now too. So little shout out. But yep.
Oh, okay. That's like a half hour for me. That's not bad.
He only vends, I think I've only seen him vend once or twice a year, like come out, but he's got a good selection at his store. So
that's cool.
But definitely, like, as far as not having anybody specific, I've already wanted to franchise out and have a little store in Syracuse and Binghamton, Albany, and Buffalo. And
baby steps, Josh. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, my guy. One bite at a time.
I have a big problem with that.
It's okay, but it's people like you that get shit done in this world. People like you that move the ball forward is what we need. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Do you have any good advice for someone who is looking to get into the sport?
Find a club. Find a local club.
What's the best way
you'll
to find a club, Josh? Facebook,
Facebook,
Google.
100 Facebook.
Okay.
I'm not I'm not a big fan of social media, but as far as like for business and for this type of stuff, it works so well. Um,
Yeah.
there's a Facebook page for just about every area within 45 minutes of you, whether it be the greater Binghamton area, the Syracuse area, the Albany area, Rochester. They have ADK, the Adirondacks up in Poughkeepsie area, I do believe. So there's a bunch of clubs around. There's Cortland, or Corning, excuse me. There's a club out in Corning. So yeah, just go out to a club. It'll cost you if you want to. If you want to pay to play, you don't have to, but it usually costs you $5 to $7. And what that covers is your prize money, because they'll pay that basically all back out. Usually save $1 of it for the club
Yeah.
for fees to improve things. But you'll find a great community of very helpful people that will help you with your form, people that will help you tell you what store to buy from. Hopefully it's Rapid Rivers. So yeah, I mean, and it depends on what you want to do. If it's like you want to, just go out and hang out, drink some beer, and have a good time with your friends. There's not really much involved in doing that. If you want to go pro, there's millions of, not millions, there's hundreds of thousands of videos and hours of
Dude, I
coverage.
would say there's probably millions of videos of disc golf online. I bet you probably have to sift through the shit.
For sure. And well, like you said, I mean, it has been around forever. I think it was the late 80s and maybe even the late 70s. It was possibly. I'm not entirely sure on my history, and it's been a day. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for
I
sure.
look at numbers all the time. So it's hard to say.
You look at numbers all day, and it's just kind of like,
Yep. Like when did that happen? It's like, I have no idea. I got nothing.
Last question I have for you. What is the favorite spot you like to go and shoot 18 holes?
18 holes, definitely Cole Park, and that's just because it's close to me. It's 25 minutes for me. So that's Nathaniel Cole Park in Harpersville. So
Let's see how far that is. I bet you that's kind of far from me.
it's a beautiful course. It overlooks one of the big lakes that they have there.
What's it called?
Nathaniel Cole Park.
Cole Park, yep. Let's see. Drum roll. Directions.
Don't read the reviews.
Hour and a half it takes me to get there. I'm from Syracuse, so it takes me quite a haul to get there. But what do you love about that course? Why is it your favorite? Is it just because it's close to home, easy to get to?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much that's a big factor in it. The other big factor is that it's a good course. It's very well designed. It's challenging. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking to improve. I'm not really necessarily looking to go out there and just, throw for whatever. So I like to be challenged. So
I feel like, Josh, you're the kind of guy who, like, he gets out to the what's the cement square called? There's a term for it. The tee. What is that called?
Yep.
The tee. I imagine you're the kind of guy who goes out to the tee and you have like a system where, like, you like hold it, you shake a couple times, eyes up, like you try to do it so you get locked in. Like a professional basketball player like spins the ball a couple times.
Yep.
Do you have a pattern?
So you remember the very beginning when I said that, like, I get nervous? That this goes back to this whole like terrible anxiety thing. So as soon as I get up there, I'm like, and I just throw it into the first tree that I find.
Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, no. That's one of the things that I would say is a great way for mental to improve your mental game, is to have something that you regularly do every single time. And I'm unfortunately not that person. I'd like to. I have some things, but I'm not as consistent as I need to be.
You don't have to have that type of structure in your life, man. It's all good.
I'm organized chaos. Organized chaos.
Chaos.
Organized chaos.
Pissing in the wind. That's my style, dude. Give me a couple beers. Let me throw the disc. Let me just see what the hell happens.
You know, no kid learned how to walk by putting a foot forward and going, okay, can I go? No, they
Yep.
fucking leaned all the way forward and just went. So, I mean, like, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
1000%.
We're going to fall down. We're going to get back up and we're going to be able to run better, you know, and that's going to get to the point where we stop falling down so much. And you're going to look in and you're going to be like, hey, I interviewed Josh, he owns this multi-million-dollar company. Because
Dang.
I mean, that's the goal.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the interview in 5 years when you are managing like 5 franchises, one in each awesome city, and like you're running your own pro course and your website's blown up online. I'm looking forward to that moment.
My sister actually lives in Virginia, so there's already been plans to go down to a few courses in Virginia and help out with some tournaments down there and vend at some tournaments down there. And then my aunt lives down in Florida, right next to a really, really good course, which literally like 5 minutes away from a really, really good course. So pretty easy to go down to her house and do the same thing. So there's it's already in the plans for hopefully next year. Like I said, if this is a full-time gig, it's going to be a lot easier to do those things. So yeah, I
love that.
Yeah, I wish you could have interviewed me a year ago and seen the difference between a year ago and today, because I mean, we went from 2 little 10 by 10 pop-ups to a 20 by 10 with, 8 tables of just full of stuff. We went from a couple hundred discs to over 500. And next year, I hope to actually, by the end of this year, I hope to have over 1,000 in stock. I hope that I'm bringing out close to 1,500 next year to every event. So, that's I'm there for you guys. Like, I'm just listening to what people are telling me and trying to get everything that I can. And like I said, I hope that I can capitalize in the area and leave it for no reason for anybody to start another one and leave the whole area.
That's what I appreciate about you, Josh. You look for an opportunity and you seize that opportunity, which is really cool. Is there anything that like you want to plug before this is over? I'll put all the websites. I'll put your Facebook link. Everything will be in the show description below when this episode airs. So if you want to order some discs, rapid-rivers.com. And I'll also put the link to Facebook. Is there anything that you want to plug?
Yeah, but just little funny thing. The website is rapid-rivers because Rapid Rivers costs $3,000 a year, and Rapid-Rivers costs $5 a year. So, just in case anybody,
Rapid-.
And it's a dash. It's not the word dash, which could also be confusing with rapid. So, but the biggest thing is that if anybody ever wants to see disc golf, if you're interested in disc golf at all, the 25th through the 27th, Parma, New York. It's right outside of Rochester, the back corner of Rochester. They are having a pro tour event. It's a Silver Series event. There will be 150 male players, around 30 to 40 female players out, all pro level, all top tier pros. It's going to be the best chance that you're going to have in this state to see any pro level disc golf. There's going to be more vendors there in one area than there has been in anywhere else in the state. So, like I said, if there's
what is the date for that?
August 25th through the 27th, and the tickets are $10. So,
here's what I'm going to do. I usually record these in bulk, and you were going to be my first one in September, but I'm going to switch the order. So I have someone coming out Friday the 4th. Today's August 2nd, by the way, anybody listening. Today's August 2nd. I have my friend Nate's episode coming out August 4th, and then I will release yours the 18th. So this way we can talk about the event that following weekend. This way you got something there to plug.
So yeah, for sure. If you have any interest in the sport, it's going to be a great time. Live disc golf is super, super fun to watch. If you don't believe me, Google the European Open for this year, and you'll see a few thousand spectators. So this sport is growing huge. It's growing good. Get into it. It's super fun. You don't have to be competitive. just go out there and have a good time. It's all anybody wants to do, right? We
Just go and have some fun,
find,
would you?
find something to love and have fun doing it.
That's
Like,
right. Well said, Josh. And thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. You're a great human being, just like I knew when we chatted months ago at the Clay Open. So thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate your time. You could be doing anything right now, and you chose to be here. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for reaching out to me and giving me the opportunity to talk. It's been a blast. This is my first interview that I've done on this side. I
Yes.
used to do a lot from the other side when I was in high school and stuff. So
Nice.
thank you.
It's nice to have the tables turned, right?
It is. I apologize for how bad my audio is from running off my laptop, but
Nah.
I
Can't
don't
even tell, dude. Can't even tell.
I'm not there yet, but don't worry, we will be. Watch out for YouTube channels and everything like that because it's coming. Everything's coming.
Ooh.
Everything's
Ooh,
coming.
you heard it here first on the Cory Cast.